All-Star Comics, number 8, December 1941. Wonder Woman, a heroine in a world torn by war, with powers and abilities far beyond ordinary humans. With the beauty of Aphrodite, the wisdom of Athena, the speed of Mercury, and the strength of Hercules. Her identity is a mystery, known only as Wonder Woman. A military plane is losing fuel and crash lands on a hidden island in the middle of the ocean. The princess and Mala rush from the forest to investigate the downed aircraft. The princess expresses shock upon seeing the pilot. She exclaims it is urgent. They bring him to the hospital immediately. Carrying the unconscious pilot through the streets of Paradise Island, the princess draws attention from the island's astonished inhabitants, who are shocked to see a man in their midst. At the hospital, concern mounts as the doctor assesses the man's condition and notes that he suffered a concussion and cannot be moved. Queen Hippolyte soon arrives and is incredulous about the arrival of a man on the island. The nurse hands Hippolyte papers found in his pocket that indicate the man is Captain Steve Trevor of the U.S. Army Intelligence Service. Hippolyte urges that his eyes be covered if he awakes, so he will see nothing of the island. Over several days, the princess remains devoted at his bedside, despite warnings to rest. Concerned by her behavior, the royal doctor speaks with the queen, warning that the princess may be falling in love. The queen agrees to take action for her daughter's sake. Barred from tending to the wounded man, the princess pleads with her mother, desperate to understand who he is and why he must leave. The queen, expecting this day to come, agrees to share the truth. She begins recounting the Amazons' ancient past. Long ago, in a time when the Amazons were the strongest and most revered nation, Hercules came to challenge them. Queen Hippolyte, empowered by a magic girdle from the goddess Aphrodite, accepted his challenge and won. But Hercules deceived her, stealing the girdle and enslaving the Amazons. Their captivity endured until Aphrodite helped them reclaim the girdle. Freed, they sailed away to a new land and vowed to stay isolated from men, wearing their chains as bracelets to remember their struggle and preserve their independence. After sailing for many days and nights, they discovered Paradise Island, a fertile, peaceful haven where they built a new civilization free from illness, war, and want. As long as they remain there and Hippolyte retains the magic girdle, they possess eternal life. The queen insists that no man can remain on the island, as it would violate their vow to Aphrodite. She explains that the Amazons have surpassed the rest of the world in knowledge and technology, thanks in part to the magic sphere given to them by Athena. This device allows Hippolyte to observe world events, understand distant happenings, and even glimpse the future. Now she prepares to use it to reveal the origins of the mysterious man, Steve Trevor. Through the magic sphere, Hippolyte reveals Steve Trevor's recent past. Trevor, the most valuable U.S. Army intelligence officer, reports to his superior that he's uncovered the identities of spy ring leaders and asks to capture them himself. Though considered too valuable to risk, Trevor insists and is reluctantly granted permission. That night, he drives to a secret airfield near an army base, hoping to intercept a spy leader named Von Storm. Nearby, Von Storm and his lackey Fritz plan to bomb American facilities using unmarked planes from high altitude, avoiding blame for the attack. As they approach Steve's location, he confronts them at gunpoint, but the driver swerves the car into a tree, knocking Trevor unconscious. The spies decide to use him in their plans. Von Storm and Fritz bring the unconscious Steve Trevor to a hidden airfield, planning to frame the U.S. by using a stolen American robot plane in a bombing raid. Fritz is ordered to set the controls so the American plane will fly visibly over the target while their real bombs are dropped from a separate high-altitude stratoplane. At the American base, soldiers spot the unresponsive U.S. plane overhead. Bombs begin falling, and confusion erupts as it appears one of their own planes is attacking. Meanwhile, Trevor regains consciousness in the robot plane, realizes what's happening, and takes the controls in hand. The enemy pilot panics as the robot plane no longer responds. Trevor quickly maneuvers behind the spy plane, preparing to act. As Fritz panics with Steve Trevor chasing him, he radios Von Storm for help. Von Storm, enraged, tells him to prevent Steve from returning to base at any cost. He must not expose the bombing plan. The stratoplane flees, and Steve gives chase over open sea, staying just out of range. Hours pass, and Steve's fuel runs low, but he persists. Eventually, he spots an island veiled in cloud and heads toward it. Back on Paradise Island, Hippolyte reveals to her daughter that they have just watched the history of Steve Trevor through the magic sphere, ending with his crash on Paradise Island. The princess insists Steve must return to finish his mission, but the queen replies that only the goddesses can guide such a decision and seeks their advice. The princess privately considers flying him back herself. In the queen's solitude, she is visited by the spirits of Aphrodite and Athena, who warn that the crash of the American pilot is a sign of coming global danger. They urge her to send her strongest and wisest Amazon back with him to aid the cause of liberty. Moved by their message, Hippolyte agrees to hold a tournament to choose the champion. Though the princess pleads to compete, Hippolyte forbids her, not wanting to risk losing her daughter forever. On the day of the contest, a masked contestant joins the ranks. In the opening foot race, she dashes ahead, passing even a trained deer. As event after event continues, the masked contestant, number 7, and another, Mala, number 12, win every challenge. At last, the queen announces the final trial: bullets and bracelets. In the final contest, each Amazon fires 5 bullets, and the opponent must deflect them using her bracelets. Number 12 fires first. But number 7, the masked contestant, deflects every shot flawlessly. When the roles reverse, number 12 is hit in the shoulder, unable to match her rival's speed. Number 7 is declared the winner. The queen tells her to remove her mask, revealing her daughter. Shocked but proud, Hippolyte embraces her and explains that she felt it was her all along. She names her Diana in honor of her godmother, the moon goddess, and presents her with a special costume to wear in America. Thus, Diana, Wonder Woman, surrenders her heritage and the gift of eternal life, departing Paradise Island to return Steve Trevor to America, a nation she comes to cherish, defend, and ultimately call her own.